done collecting quarters at the laundromat, and it's Fun Car Friday, and I can walk well enough and move my leg well enough that we got the Diablo out for the first time in a while. So 99 Alpine Edition, we're gonna go for a drive on it. We'll also have some hopefully cool videos from the Insta360 we've got hooked up right there. We're gonna go to my other laundromat, which is about 15 miles away, and we'll have a camera mount inside so you can follow along with us, see what's going on too. Have not had this car out for a while. It's had some battery, I thought maybe alternator issues, but it's driving great today. I think it was just the battery, and since I got a new battery, Odyssey instead of Ultima, or Optima, sorry, Optimas were horrible, it's been driving great. So let's get going and see how the little laundromat's doing. I have a Countach as well, if you haven't seen that, and big differences between these two. One, I can wear shoes when I drive this one. The door is so much heavier on the Diablo. Much heavier, much harder to open. Does have power steering though, so it's a little easier to drive. More room in here than the Countach. More power. Pretty much the same transmission. Pretty much the same engine. But super fun car, and pretty fast. I've had this 10 years now, which is crazy. Almost 11 actually, that's even more crazy. And yeah, we'll get going. All right, let me switch this a little bit so that you can see. Emergency brake is on the left side, the Countach is on the right side. For seat belts, the Countach is normal, left to right. The Diablo is from the middle, right to left. So, lots of different things going on with it. This is much, much, much lower. So this is a good 2-3 inches lower on the front end. Oh, my camera is not doing good. Hold on. I can see in my rear view my camera mount. Camera, it's still there, but it slipped off. So hold everything. Hey. Just a second here. Okay, I'm back. Hopefully that mount stays on. That's not good. I wonder if it's because the car isn't super clean. I tried to kind of safely clean off a little spot for it, but I've got an Insta360 camera mounted to the trunk lid, and when I looked back in my mirror, I've got 4 suction cups. 3 of them were off. One is still hanging on. So we've driven quite a while this morning and had no issues, but I will keep an eye on that. the front end of this is not pretty. I was just saying, the Countach has a good 3 inches more clearance in front. It's actually pretty high. I can actually drive over a lot of different stuff with no issues. This one is way lower. What they did, the Diablo, is give you a little button that raises up the front end a couple inches. The problem is it's built into your shocks, and that system is very weak. The more you use it, the more it wears out. I had to replace it once. I think it was $9,000 to fix that. So my mechanic said, hey, just try not to use it. Don't use it. It's cheaper to fix your spoiler, your front end, and repaint that than it is to replace the whole shock system. So there are some scrapes on it, but I didn't think I would scrape that hard on that bump. We do have heat. We do have AC in here. Well, that's nice. The Countach has that as well, but it doesn't quite work as well as the Diablo. It's pretty much the same transmission, except the Countach has a lockout for reverse. This one you just got to kind of push down and up to get it into reverse. That was their version of a lockout. I've seen other Diablos, and I don't know if it's by year, where you have to twist the gear shift to go into reverse, but that is not how mine is. How that sounds on the Insta360 later on. That guy's just stopped in the turn lane on the green light waiting for me. That happens all the time too. I've had people stop in the middle of an intersection in a green light just to take pictures. Definitely has more get up and acceleration than a Countach. Sometimes my brakes are like a little shaky and weird. Sometimes they're fine. I've had those checked out a number of times and they said they're okay, but it always stops, so that's good. Also much louder than the Countach as well, but my Countach has bone stock exhaust, and this has an aftermarket exhaust on it. I think it was put on by the dealer when it was first sold, but it's not the stock Lamborghini exhaust. I already lost one Insta360 camera from my mount falling off on the Countach. So that was an X3 camera. I got the newer X4, and I bought it directly through Insta360, which gave me a year of protection. So if I do that again, I should get a replacement for free. So that's a nice reassurance at least. And that video is somewhere on my channel. I had it on when it fell off, and had the video of it falling off and sitting in the road for like 7 minutes before a minivan took it out. And it was right in the middle of the road. That minivan had to have been aiming for it, which is real dumb to just aim for a giant chunk of plastic and metal on the road. Because it wasn't just my camera, it was the mount as well. This coming more, so that could be part of it as well. Definitely has a very unique sound. doesn't really. It's actually pretty stable. The wing they had to zero out because you add the wing, it does make it unstable. But on its own, the Coutage is very stable, built for high speed. The Mira is the one that gets a little front lift and pretty dangerous at high speeds. There's a track hawk that probably could. A regular Jeep now. Now, well, I just had a brain fart. The Lamborghini test driver, I want to say Balboni, but that's not, that's the designer. Or no, is it? Anyway, he said the best way to get the quickest time in the Diablo is to drop the clutch at about 6,000 or 7,000 RPMs if you have the VT, which is what I have, vicious traction. However, that's all-wheel drive is what that is. However, he said if you do it wrong, do that twice and you burn out your clutch and your clutch is done. Clutch is probably $10,000 to $15,000, so I don't do that. We just take off nice and easy, and then I'm not trying to win any drag races or launch time contests, that's for sure. Might be fun to ride in a Diablo or do that in someone else's Diablo, not mine. I've got almost 30,000 miles, not quite, 29,193. I bought this with 21 or 22,000 miles 10 years ago. People say you never drive it, but I have lots of cars, so I have lots of different options to drive. Hopefully the live is working okay and saving okay. know if you guys can see that or not. You can see the RPMs here, but red line is 7,500 RPM. I thought it was close, but I didn't think I was that close to it. Now we're at the beautiful town of Kersey, Colorado. Population 1,500 if they're lucky. It really is a nice little town. One thing I've been told by many people, there's no need to downshift when braking unless you're racing or downshifting to, you know, keep going in a certain gear. Just use the brakes because the brakes are so much cheaper to replace than the clutch. The less wear on the clutch, the better. Gauges look good. My only warning lights are for my airbag, which I've never gone in to get that checked because I need to go to the dealer. And then a low tire, but I checked all my tires and they were all good. Oh, I do. Oh, I've got low windshield washer fluid over there. All right, here is my little baby laundromat right here. Anybody wants to buy it, it's for sale. Not just a laundromat, but a car wash, an apartment, a shop. It comes with the whole shebang. And I'm being crazy, sorry. I don't want to go up there in this car. I go up there in the Coutage all the time. This car, I want to park in front. Also want to park right here in this spot so nobody parks beside me and so I can somewhat see. I can't see much at all. Somewhat see behind me when backing out. You have to plan for all these things when you don't have Lamborghinis. Oh, that was my emergency brake popping out a little bit. Now it's staying. Always been told to kind of let it idle for a little bit, especially if you push it a little bit. Let it chill out, relax. All right. Oh, we have 2 people on. Wow. Well, I can look at chat and talk to people now if anybody has any questions or comments. Although it doesn't look like we've had any so far. And one like, hey, now we have 6 people on. All of a sudden, a bunch of people pop on once they start talking. Interesting. Okay, like I said, this door, much heavier, much harder to open than the Coutage. Oh, thank you, James. Appreciate it. And there's our Insta360 camera on there. So we should take that off because we'll be using that in the laundromat. There we go. Just want to make sure I don't drop it. There we go. Well, thank you for riding along with me. Appreciate it. We'll have more lives with this car. The Coutage, Esprit, Aston Martin, all of them, I'm sure. Weather's nice, but we're supposed to have snow next week, so we'll see how that goes, and we'll be back soon.